Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CLE, Traveling Internationally with Digital Data, a changing legal landscape for U.S. border searches. My name is Aisha Bandari, and I'm a Deputy Project Director with the ACLU Speech, Privacy, and Technology Project, where I've been working on the issue of the legality of searches of electronic devices at the U.S. border for many years. I'm presenting this CLE in February 2022. The goals for this CLE are to provide the following information. One, to discuss the state of the law regarding digital device searches at the U.S. border. Two, to explain federal government policies and practices with respect to border searches of electronic devices and situate those policies within constitutional limitations. I'm also going to give an overview of the current state of the case law and the splits among federal circuit courts on what exactly those constitutional limitations are. Next, I'm going to provide guidance to practitioners on strategies to suppress evidence from border device searches. And finally, I'll provide advice to all international travelers on safeguarding sensitive information, including confidential attorney-client information, when traveling into or out of the United States with electronic devices. I also want to give a bit of context for what I'm referring to when I talk about border searches of electronic devices. I'm talking about searches that take place when a traveler is physically entering or exiting the United States. So whether you're arriving at a land port of entry, whether it's the Mexico or Canada border with the United States, or if you're arriving at an airport and going through immigration and customs. But these searches that I'm talking about are searches of travelers' electronic devices that happen at the point of entering or exiting the country. Most people and most travelers will be familiar with being searched on entering the United States. That's most often when you get searched by border officers. But it happens occasionally, though rarely, that people will be searched when they're leaving the United States. You might be at an airport boarding a plane, and prior to that be searched by customs and immigration officers. So I'm referring to searches that happen then. I'm not talking about searches that happen in the interior of the United States, but might be conducted by border or immigration officers. So for example, sometimes people talk about a 100-mile zone from the border where there are immigration checkpoints, where border officers might be stopping people and conducting searches. Those interior domestic searches are not what I'm referring to here, because those searches are just subject to very different policies and practices. With that understanding, I'm going to talk about the federal government policies and practices that apply. First, when we talk about border searches of electronic devices, there are two main agencies that conduct these searches. One is U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, and the second is U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. I'm going to be referring mainly to these two agencies. Both agencies, under their current policies, permit warrantless and suspicionless searches of electronic devices when a traveler is at the U.S. border. That's the overarching policy here. These searches do not require a warrant, and they don't require suspicion of wrongdoing on the part of the traveler. But getting into more specifics of what the policies do say, I'm going to turn first to the US CBP 2018 directive, which is the currently operative policy. The CBP policy divides electronic device searches into two types. One is known as a basic search, and the second is called an advanced search. An advanced search is any search in which an officer connects external equipment through a wired or wireless connection to an electronic device to review, copy, or analyze its contents. So an advanced search is any search where they hook up equipment that lets them do the search, via what we might call forensic means. It might be a Cellebrite device, it might be some other device. It doesn't mean plugging in a device for power, so plugging in a laptop or plugging in a smartphone. A basic search, on the other hand, is just any search that doesn't require equipment. So this could be an officer scrolling through a smartphone. It could be someone using the internal search function of a laptop to search through keywords or for images, but there's no external equipment that's helping with the analysis.